Good morning, all. It's your boy Libra God 90 back with another DBD podcast episode called The Survivor Side of Stories. Here's the thing too. I really want to try to get like I love the thumbnail that I've made for this. I mean, I chose something online, maybe from Pinterest or something like the background. But I actually may pay this one guy from Fiverr to actually do like something that's more personal. I still have to figure that out, but I haven't really done it yet. Now, I know lately the episodes kind of been darker a bit. When I mean dark, I mean more like hopeless, in both ways and more than one. And the reason why I say this is because it's not just me, but I feel like I'm not having fun in DBD. I think a lot of people aren't having fun in DBD. Like, even when I look at the numbers, it just still seems like it's just not what it used to be, right? Still to this day, you can go to the game right now if you're not at work or you're not just sleep or whatever. You can just go to the game and just turn on Survivor, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to see 100% blood point bonus for Survivor mostly. Rarely will you see, incentive to play Killer, because Killer has every incentive to play right now. If you want to just get a free dub just to feel good about yourself, go ahead and just play the night, play Skull Merchant, current Skull Merchant. I'm not talking about PTB. PTB, I think they made her weaker or something like that. I'm not really too sure. And I thought about having schedules to like do these episodes, but sometimes I just want to just talk just to talk. I don't know. Right. I kind of want to talk more about Survivor rule books and Killer rule books. And I have a question, do you guys think that Survivor and Killer has a rule book, or do you think it's mostly salty survivors? Now, before anyone think it's just coming from, you're a Survivor, man, so of course you're gonna, I used to stream, and I know I was a bit newer to DBD, but at some point I started to understand the game a little bit, and something just didn't make sense. You ever had someone tell you something and it just not really adding up? The whole bloodlust thing. This guy used to, I forgot his name, but he was a heavy supporter. He used to say, killers need bloodlust, killers need, and I was looking more from the Survivor's lens, but you got to keep in mind, I'm a Survivor main. So I can understand, that's always going to be the first thing I feel first, right? It's just what it is. But then, I don't know, he was like, they need bloodlust. And I'm I did some research, and I love doing research. I love learning about stuff. And if I stand corrected, I stand corrected. It is, I don't know everything, right? I don't know what's going to happen at work today. I don't know what's going to, I just try to take each day as it comes. But I did the research, and yeah, bloodlust was implemented into the game to combat infinites. Now, some people may say, but there's still infinites in DBD. Stop it. Dude, stop. Get some help. That MJ meme or whatever and stuff. I still want to know. I still want to see that video or that. I assume it was a commercial. But I just can't. But stop it. Y'all know Infinite is not this. Bro, they literally gutted maps. There are so many maps, dude, that it just don't even look like. I be looking like what the hell is this? Where are y'all just putting pallets now? Y'all just putting pallets anywhere. Y'all might as well just don't even literally it's if you go. I think it's Cowshed or something where you go there and it's a hut, little circle hut thing with a pallet that it looks so stupid. You might as well some pallets I just throw just so I can just try to mind game it better while it's on the ground, so that way the killer have to either try to break it or it's a 50-50. So long as it's not up against a wall, it's it's more safer. But dude, there's no way you can really grade too long from that pallet. I mean, you can try a mind game it, and the killer is just gonna assume you're probably gonna try to drop it. So if you don't want to drop it, that's fine too. But that is not a very safe palette. Some of these filler palettes are just stupid. But yeah, we do not have infinites how it was in 2016. So stop, dude. I get it. People are killer mains and they're experienced, but I think I went a week playing Killer myself, and I've been watching a lot of Killer, and I'm gonna tell you this now. I definitely understand that there's levels. Like I said, I'm a very good Survivor main. So I don't doubt that if killers are, camping and slugging and tunneling and, they're doing it against baby survivors, then eventually they go against people like me. But imagine if it's people like me and then I'm on the team. I don't even play with anyone. But I can imagine if I had somebody with my kind of hours and I had 3 more survivors like that, then I don't care how you play. Because like if we're all in comms and we're all sweaty, I don't mind sweating in DBD. I don't mind it. So long as I have teammates that are gonna sweat back. And it's just what it is. Like, but then there are people who like to compete. Like if you want to be Skull Merchant and we're comms and then let's go. Like that's what makes the game fun for me. It doesn't make it fun when I have the same mentality as I'm always gonna have, but then I'm playing with like people who just don't get it. And so I argue that we don't have infinites the way it used to be because one, imagine just abusing double window Shack and killers not being able to catch you, which I still believe at the end of the day is still listen. You can be a brand new survivor. If you don't look behind you, the killer's meeting you on the other side with a hello. Like that's what they doing. Like if you're not looking behind, like if I'm a killer and I know that you're not looking behind, I know you're gonna go for that window. I'm just gonna meet you on the other side. I got you. I'll be there in 2 minutes. Type. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna meet you because I know you're not looking behind you. So you have to understand, you can't just compare everyone and say, oh well, I went up against these top tier survivors, so I'm assuming everyone's like that. So now I'm gonna switch. And here's the thing: I already know that there are killer mans who probably was very nice in the game because you gotta look at it from their side too. Like they were very nice. They had a very, very good time trying to meme around or just trying to, like you feel like you got caught off guard. You ever like, you're not trying, you're just trying different builds, and then you get survivor mans who like to teabag and be toxic and stuff like that. And I'm one of them. Okay, I'm one of them. I teabag. I tell you to come here and chase. I nod my head up. My favorite is to nod my head up. Like after I stun you with a pallet, I just look up in the sky just to see if it's nighttime, if it's daytime, see if I see a bird. Like after I stun the killer, I look up and I just ponder. I think about life. I think about what I'm gonna eat in real life, not in DBD though, but in real life. And then like a killer, but then like a killer main like takes that game and say, okay, F it, I'm about to go slug, camp and tunnel. I understand it. See, again, I'm one of them people. I'm not gonna like act like I'm too goody shoes. No, I am one of them people. I don't care. The only thing, and I do slide in DMs and I try to holler at you if you a killer man that slug and camp. Yeah, I do that, and I do the same thing with Survivor. The only thing I don't do, and well, why are you taking the past the game? Because I can. Duh. Like, but here's the thing though. Like, first I'll remember it's Libra season, so you gotta always remember that. So it's just gonna be even more serious now, right? Just like mentality wise, right? You gotta respect the Libra game. But on top of it, like, I just don't take it past like the game. Like, I don't be like, I hope you injure yourself. I hope you, have bad financial situations. I don't know. I hope you hit your shins on a guardrail because you know how hard that hurts. That, like, you ever just get up. Like, I don't have one of those, but like when I was younger and you ever just like be sleepy, you ain't paying attention. You walk past and there's like a guardrail and it just hits you, and it's something about them shins, dude. It's like, it's like, I don't know why God made that part hurt so hard, but it's something about that part. Like, we all know how badly that hurts. But no, I don't take it past the game, dude. At the end of the day, I'm a trash talker. That's just how it is. When I play NBA 2K, I used to be on stream, and I swear, dude, I had to mute the stream just because, like, I don't have like, I didn't have like I got my Elgato capture card, but like I couldn't hook it up for some reason to like where the stream could hear me trash talk to other people, and they couldn't hear them. Only I could hear them, but the stream couldn't hear them. So I had to like literally jump through just to like speak to them and just see how they were doing. You know what I mean? I just thought it was funny. But yeah, but to make a long story short, no, we don't have infinites anymore. Bloodlust do not need to still be in the game. If you're going to rework the maps the way that you are reworking the maps, you have to be consistent. You can't just make it where, okay, we get less distance and less seconds after we get hit, which I try to at times use overcome just so I can sort of make up like the time I'm being lost in chase, and in that way, and I really love it because like I said, if you pair it with Windows, you could just go to like another palette or a window and just play that or whatever. But yeah, I just don't believe in Bloodlust needs to be a thing. I just don't like the idea that you're getting outplayed, you're not catching me. It's not like every map you go like you have like all these palettes. Like if you play in Dead Dog, there's not that many palettes. And it took me a long time to understand how to play in Dead Dog. It took me a long time to understand how to play in Haddonfield, as far as like using the house structures. Like, them houses are pretty strong. And if you bring a build and you know what you're doing, but it depends on the killer. Like this morning, I had a hag and she got on my nerves. She's a real hag in real life. I'm sorry. Like, if you're playing a hag, you get on my nerves already. But I don't know if you knew that, but you get on my nerves already. Like, and I don't care. But I don't. Like, I don't care. Well, I love a killers be like, well, are you mad that the killer's using their power? Yes. Yes. A lot of the powers are already strong, and then you nerf Survivor already. But then it's not even just that though. See, and it's kind of my segue. Like, what I want to talk about is the Survivor rule book and Killers rule book. Let's talk about it right now. All right. Cause I know I've been rambling a lot, and I like to go off on a tangent and stuff. It's funny. Do the Survivor rule book exist? Do Killers? Yes, it does. I will tell you, it does exist. It is biased. I've read a few chapters. I kind of skimmed through it. I didn't have time to read the whole thing, but maybe later I can see what's going on. See the table of contents or whatever. But yeah, Survivors definitely have a rule book. If anybody ever watched my videos, I get on Survivors more than I get on Killer. It's just what it is. Just Killers, like I said in the last podcast, they're obviously not on my team. So there's only so much caring that I'm gonna do. But if you're on my team, yes, I have to hold you accountable. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is. Survivors will do things that's like, okay, you can't tunnel me, you can't camp me, you can't slug me. I don't say you can't do any of those things. I just think it's annoying. But you can definitely do that. Like, if you're a killer man and you want to just listen, it's only you versus us. So if you feel like, oh my God, I gotta sweat out here because I'm about to get jumped, it's like like in real life, like you're about to get jumped. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, oh man, these 3 dudes is finna come after me and I'm about to whatever. Like, okay, well, you're probably about to get jumped, so you gotta try to. I don't know if you're gonna bite them. I don't know if you're gonna try to like throw something. Maybe there's like, one of them random sticks that you see that you almost trip over while you walk, and you just try to hit them with it. Like, you gotta try to do whatever you can, right? But then on the flip side, what if like you trying to jump somebody, but then that one person is just getting folded by like okay, so 4 people trying to jump one dude, but then one dude just folded everybody. Because, like, the other survivors on your team is weak. That's exactly how it is. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you caught that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a fish. But, like, it's just, like, I get it. Killer's going to do what they going to do. Killer's going to slug, camp, and tunnel. Some people just want to do it just to do it. There are people who know that they just want to get a rise out of people. Like I said, like my boy, nobody named Ghost, and I love, like I said, and this is no hate to him at all. But there's some people who just do it just to get a rise, and they just want to, it is what it is. But you got to understand, like, yeah, at the end of the day, survivors put a lot of themselves in that situation as far as, look, you're going to run into the basement and you know that there's a Bubba there. The Bubba does not, like, he don't have to be nice to you. It's not basement chest Bubba, and he got on his fancy suit and he's cute. Cause listen, why do y'all do that? Like, okay, listen, you can do whatever you want. I don't want you to think that, it is what, listen, you don't even need my permission. But I don't understand, like, why do y'all think that everybody has to farm? But see, that's another rule book too. Why do y'all, like, I don't know if that's like on the 4th chapter of it. Like, I don't know what chapter. I'm gonna like skim through it later. Why do y'all feel like killers have to farm with y'all? Like, who's a whole farmer out here? Like, why do y'all have to do that? When I jump into the game, I do not hope to see a Ghostface or Ghosty. I hope not to see a Daddy Myers, quote unquote, because I'm never saying that again. I said it before too, which is weird. I'm just trying to like regurgitate what people say in this community. Why do y'all get mad when they don't want to play with you? Like, I had siblings like that. Like, they didn't want to play with me. I had older siblings who didn't want to play with me. I didn't want to play with them, and they didn't want to play with me. Like, but why y'all get mad though? Like we're grown. You know what game this is. It's called Dead by Daylight. Not boring. I'm going to sit around and I'm boop the Snoop all day and there's 5 gens to complete, but we're not going to do that by daylight. Hey, why do y'all do that? And then y'all get mad. Like, I watch streamers to get upset. Hey, bro, the killer's gonna just kill. The killer's called a killer. The killer wants to be stimulated by chasing a good survivor. Well, again, like killers who want to actually play it. If you just want to camp just to camp, I don't feel like that's stimulating at all, in my opinion. But maybe some people feel differently about that. I really don't know. But like, yeah, people just want to have fun, man, and actually play the game. That's another rule book that I just don't. I don't agree with survivors. Like, it was the one guy who did that too one time. Like, he was like I wanted to get out of the game. Yes, I'm one of them survivors who will just not. Listen, every now and then I'll do it if I want some blood points. But most of the time, if I see the game's farming, please let me die and go next. Or let me complete the gens. And I will try to complete the gens. But then you got survivors that I try to trap you and all these bannable offenses. Like slugging, camping, bleeding out, those are not bannable offenses. You may not, report them at the end of the day and say, oh, man, I had a very good time, man. I was chilling. Dude was cool. He let me use his charger. The killer was cool, all that. No. You may not give him a thumbs up at the end of the match, but it's not bannable offense if they camp slug a ton of you. It's not bannable. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to get on Killer's rule book too. And I don't know how long I'm going to go. Pause. But at the same time, I'm going to go for like a little bit as far as like explaining the rule book on them. Because I think it's really, really interesting. Because to me, in this game, it's just so much hypocrisy that it just doesn't even make sense. And I just feel like people don't even care. Like, you ever argue with somebody and you just, and like they know they contradicted themselves, but they don't even care? Like, they just don't. Like, you clearly just said something that just went up against what you literally just meant or whatever. And yeah, this is exactly what they do in DBD. Killer's supposed to do this. I'm a killer and I'm supposed to do this, but then get mad when we gen rushing and stuff. I'm gonna get on that too. About gen rushing, like that's like a thing. Like, I mean, it's like when killers be like, "Oh, like killers not supposed to use their power. Am I not supposed to hurry up and get out of here and get out of this match? Am I not supposed to hurry up and complete gen?" Think about it. If I'm in a real life situation and the only way is to get out to complete a gen, am I gonna sit there and try to boop to Snoop with a killer? If he or she even let me get that far or that close, you get what I'm saying? But anyway, another thing that survivors like to do. Let me see. I'm trying to think. They get mad when somebody uses Franklin's or Lightborn. That's another one. Here's the thing. You can get mad. I don't really care. You can get upset. I'm not arguing your right to feel the way you feel, but like I just think it's interesting. Like, you're so boring. You bring Lightborn. Is the killer supposed to allow you to blind them, buddy? Like, what are you talking about? See, this is like I feel like a lot of people just don't play killer because it's like, are you supposed to just allow your opponent to do stuff like that? It's just it's ridiculous. Like when people complain about Made for This too, it's so funny. People complain about Made for This. I'm like, dude, it's a survivor perk, man. I mean, they already took away Dead Heart, but killers get mad at Made for This. But just like the same thing, but killer can't run Lightborn, killer can't run Franklin's. There's 4 survivors in the lobby with flashlights, which this is why I don't understand. At least if you're gonna run flashlight survivors, please last minute switch. Because if a killer have a minute to hurry up and change his whole thing because they see a flashlight, if they don't do it, they're probably just brand new to the game and they don't understand what's about to happen. Now, I know it's hard to do it when somebody last minute switch, but at least you have a shot, right? Because you might just, like they may not be running that. But then if you last minute switch, then you don't have to worry about Franklin's being a thing. Because why would a killer run Lightborn and Franklin's if they don't see flashlights? I mean, that might get so paranoid. They may be like, I'm about to hurry up and, put it on because I don't want to get caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm trying to think of another rule book that just doesn't make sense. All right, camping. Okay, let's talk about camping. Camping, right? Is camping boring? Yes, but that's my opinion. I mean, maybe some killers are having fun, but you can tell they're probably boring in real life. You camping, like just sitting there. Now, if you want to hit them on hook and like you trying to make a video out of it, I think that's funny. Or if you want to look at people's reaction, I think that's funny. I love watching those quote unquote salty reaction videos from survivors. I love watching those. It's very funny. Like, it's very funny. Is it funny when it happened to me? Like, I'm gonna tell you this now. If I'm on stream, I probably have like a more funny reaction I would have loved to been on one of those reactions, by the way. Like, but not early in DBD. Not early in DBD. Maybe later. Yeah, I do wish it was like game chat between Killer and Survivor, because I probably get kicked out of my apartment because I'd be so loud arguing with people. But yeah, camping, should Killer camp or whatever. It's not even a matter of if they should do it. They're gonna do it anyway. So, and it's not against the rule book. I mean, it's against our rule book, but it's not against like policy or terms of service or TOS or whatever of DBD for someone to get reported. It's just boring. And I always said this too. Like, you can do that against like newer teams, but Survivor, like if you do that against like people who know what they're doing, the most you might get is the 2K. Because the way I see it is, let's say, okay, you camp somebody out and you heard been rushed, and like survivors are rushing to get gens done. And you're not pressuring gens because you're camping. Okay, boom. Maybe you hurry up and you have no ed and you catch one of them at the gates. And then you camp that person on hook and then boom, that's the 2K. Or they just hurry up and escape and then you just get a 1K. So I just always argue that if you're going to do that, that's fine. But just keep in mind that, teams who know what they're doing, who understand how to just say, you know what, that person's dead. If let's focus on giving the killer, let's kill. I wish a lot of survivors understood that, like, when you want to make killers like that pay, right? It's really hard for me, and I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but it's really hard for me to fathom that we allow a killer to get a 3 or 4K because he started camping. And that's all he did. He didn't chase, or she didn't chase. They didn't pressure gens. They didn't kick gens. They wasn't focused on preserving the 3 gen or whatever they could have. They literally just stand in the base. They stood in the basement and camped. And I just feel like this is where survivors like just falls apart. Because I wish I could talk to them personally while they're on my team. Like, hey, buddy, so don't go over there and try to save him a Bubba. Why not? Well, Ben, I assume his name would be Ben, like a young boy named Ben. You see, if the killer wants to decide to camp and lose the game, like, let's make them pay by losing the game. The entity is gonna have a few words with them. The entities might fire them, might dock their pay, right? They might get demoted because they decide to be a bot. And then Ben probably would say, oh, okay, oh boy, whatever, some stupid shit. But that's my whole point. It's like, yeah, like, give the killer less kills, dude. Like, when y'all go and save in the basement, where do y'all think y'all going? Like, if the gens are done and the gates are open, and you're trying to body block and all of this stuff, they took away the grab animation feature now. So now you don't have to worry about getting grabbed. Because you got killers who know how to time that, and they'll just stand there. And it's so weird how long it took for them to like nerf that or change that or something. It's like they're very slow. Like, they're very fast on nerf and Survivor, but they're very slow on like, But like, I can see if the gates are done and like, okay, let's open up the gate and let's body block and let's all try to escape with 3 men or better. Let's get a 3 out. A lot of times y'all would do this and go down and give the killers more opportunity, and we're still at like 4 or 5 gens. Like, even if you get a save, if the killer, you cannot stop a killer from going after someone. I don't think y'all really understand that. Like, do y'all really get that? Like, I get it. Well, I try to think about more about having fun and trying. I want to skip every match, and please don't be on my team. Please don't be on my team. Like, and if you're watching, there's no disrespect to anybody. Please do not be. Listen, dude. Like, if you see me in your lobby, if I'm being hooked and I'm being camped, stay on generators, dude. Please. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, it's not even about me anymore. It's not even about you. It's about not giving this bot more kills, dude. It's like, you don't, like, and I feel like you really understood. Because, like, so killers win at 4K overwhelmingly. They win still at 3K. It's a tie at 2K. And it's a loss at 1K. And it's obviously, you're not even a killer if you got 0 kills. Like, you just look stupid. Like, that entity hired you to kill people and you couldn't even do that. Like, it's like, bro, like, you need to go to another job. Like, 'cause you can't be killer. But my point is that a lot of survivors don't understand the concept of this, because you giving killers a free dub and they just don't understand it, or they don't care. And it's nothing worse than me having a killer hitting me on hook, giving me nopers. If you don't know what noper means, is when the killer shakes his head no left and right and stuff. Like, they shake their whole body weirdly, just like no and stuff. And they do all of that, and you think I want to give a killer like that more kills? But again, that killer will tell you that they know they want to, like, they go against teams who actually know what they're doing. What's else? Like, what's another rule book that Survivor have? Let me see. I guess playing with certain killers. Like, why would you play Blight? I'm gonna tell you this now, though. I don't care. If you play Blight, you are. I swear, dude. Listen. I said this on the last episode. Like, there are some killers, like, obviously, like Knight and Skull Merchant. Like, you can play them, but I can kind of sense what kind of person you are. I don't know about in real life, but I can kind of sense it. Like, there was a Skull Merchant. Like we were in Haddonfield, and there was a Skull Merchant who literally, like, allowed it. I mean, because, you know, again, you're playing in solo queue. I always try to break the main gens first. If you're in Haddonfield, you know it's that main house. You want to break that gen. And if you see a neighboring gen, what I call a neighboring gen, I just came up with that just now. Like, just now. Right? If I come up, like, if I find a neighboring gen, which is a gen that's usually next to like a possible 3 gen, which you really want to break, but what the survivors do in solo queue, I either get teammates who don't do gens, or I get teammates who do gens, but then they 3 gen us because they just doing gens and they don't understand. They see a gen, let's just complete it. They don't understand. This game is very complex. I promise you it is. It's not easy. It's really not. There are so many things in texts that people have done that you didn't even know was a thing, or stuff that, like, for example, this is random. This has nothing to even do with the video, but, like, I saw a clip on TikTok or something. I was watching Outstream. He was watching it. I guess if you have this coordinates, please, I swear I know this is a thing, that if you have this coordinates and you playing with Nemesis, I think there's, like, zombies will go over there, like two zombies, or like it's like a thing, like when they see 2 people working on gens, yeah, like that would actually go over there. Like, they would literally go over there. It's stuff that you don't even know about the game, but like this isn't in a book in the game where you just learn this stuff and it's like automatic stuff that you know. Like, this is stuff that is random. Like, what? Or like, if you duck and you crouch, you stop blights from rush, some weird stuff. But, like, you gotta understand, like, this is not an easy game to understand. Like I said, I didn't even know before, like, early in the game, that there were 7 generators in the map, because I only thought I had to complete 5. So why would I care about all 7, right? I only complete 5, the gates are open. But then you also have to understand there's a thing called 3 genning. They don't teach you this in the tutorial. The tutorial is so, like, literally all they do is have a Meg or Dwight, I think. No, you are the Dwight, and you see trappers, you throw on a pallet, you tap a gen, and then you escape. They don't teach you nothing else. You don't even have a toolbox, a flashlight. You don't even know about perks. You literally, like, I remember when I first started playing this game, there's so much stuff you just do not know. And it's just very amazing about that. So what I'm saying is that we went up against a Skull Merchant, and she, like, we got 3 gen, and she basically was just occupying it. Then, you know, she had all the slowdowns and all this stuff. She kicks the gen, she makes it. And I was watching Team Eternal when they went up against, I forgot that guy name that they went up against. Yeah, that was a private match, and that was against a Skull Merchant. And I assume it's the best team in DBD. That's what they've said, and they all know what they're doing. But here's the thing, though, too. Here's the difference, right? It took them an hour. And they all got out, they all got out too. I don't know why the Skull Merchant didn't camp one of them at least and get a kill, even though it wouldn't have mattered, still would have lost. But all of them got out. But you gotta understand, like, here's the difference, right? In that game that I watched, I think it was Hens and Ots, watching it or hosting it, is that that was a private match, so they was able to choose perks. They was able to restrict certain things. Could you imagine how how like much harder that game would have been if it was just like if they met in a public match and Skull Merchant was able to bring her add-ons or its add-on or whatever, and Team Eternal was able to bring their stuff. Like, you gotta realize too, like, public matches, we don't know who the killer is, at least in private. Like, I argue that people could have beaten that, could have also won against that too, if they just, I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have to know what you're doing, but I also feel like private matches you can prepare for because you know who the killer is gonna be, right? You know, if, like, for example, if it's a clown, right? You can better prepare to be like, okay, let me put on Windows. I can just know to try to pre-drop against Clown. Cause that's the best way you beat Clown. You don't beat Clown trying to greed and mind game. And I mean, yeah, it's some mind game to it, but pre-drop. Like, he's not loopable well enough. He's just gonna slow you down and catch you. Just pre-drop, waste his time, and just pray to God there are survivors that are actually on gens. It's actually a lovely rainy day right now, but it's raining a little bit too hard. I was gonna go to the gym, but goddamn. Like, goddamn, it is raining hard. But anyway, but to make a long story short, yes, yeah, I just think private matches and pub matches are just a little bit different. And I just think that if you go against a Skull Merchant like that in a public match when you don't even have certain perks, certain builds, you can't strategize, you're playing with randos at that, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose. Like, unless the killer just don't know what they're doing, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose. Because what are the chances of you finding good survivors, right? Just trying to think. I don't know too many other rule books outside of Survivors. You can't camp them. You can't tunnel them. I do see survivors do stupid stuff like, okay, I just got off hook and I have the endurance protection for a little bit, so I'm gonna go and take a hit and dive bomb into the killer, and then the killer hit me, and then the killer should just go after that person who just got off hook. No, they should go after you. You got off hook. Right, because survivors love doing this too, where they love like unhooking in front of killers if killer is not supposed to kill. I don't understand why do y'all do that. Give a killer time to at least get away from the area. But what y'all like to do is literally unhook in front of killer and farm them. Like I think I went up against that yesterday, where a survivor literally just farmed me off hook, and the killer did not care. Went straight after him. It's like, why do no? It wasn't even that. She was already injured, right? This was in Dead Dog. She was already injured, and she wasn't able to get me. Instead of just waiting for the killer to walk away, and then the killer, for some reason, this I forgot that dude who came with May for this. He the one who came with Singularity. I forgot his name. He was just in the area, just right there. So literally, the game was over in like 2 minutes. I'm on hook. Survivor comes out of nowhere trying to unhook me, gets hit, she goes down, and then the guy literally was just behind her. And then we had a bot on the team because somebody DC'd. So people just do stuff like that and then complain like when the game's over with. Like, oh, you're such a boring killer. Like, can you take some responsibility, survivors? Just some. Like, even if it's not the whole thing, just some of it. Blame it on somebody else, or just most of it, but like at least take some responsibility. Like, you can't sit here and get mad. I mean, you can if you want, but I just don't understand the logic. Like, why are you selling the game? You need some money? Why are you selling? And you got survivors who have no clue. They just don't understand it, bro. You be like, bro, but why? Why? Just hide. Wait for the killer to leave the area. Use Kindred if you have to, so you can see where the killer is within 16 meters. I don't care. Why do that? But the killer ain't supposed to go after that. The killer don't have noise notification. See, remember, if you play killer now, you get the noise notification explosion when somebody get off hook. You can see obviously somebody got on hook just on your screen. You can see that. But a killer is supposed to ignore you. And then you go dive bombing in front of the killer to take a protection hit. Because you know. Yeah, that's your teammate. Sure is. Like, I get it. I'm not mad at survivors for doing that. But when you get upset at killer, like, killer is not supposed to try to counter that. You know, it's like, I just don't get it. But so that's another one. We covered Lightborn. We covered slugging. Get on my nerves. Obviously, I'm not gonna get too much in slugging, but just know it's very annoying. Very annoying. Put me on hook. Now I know I might sound biased and stuff like that. Yes, put me on hook. I'm irritated with the devs because they should have already done something with that from the beginning. How do you sit here and have a PTB where it's like, okay, I guess they're looking at it like, well, I love hearing Killer say, well, bring Unbreakable. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and get on Killer too. When they be like, oh, well, bring Unbreakable, and then this won't happen, and bring this, and then this won't happen, bring that, and all of these things. As if you can't just Unbreakable works one time, and you hit me, and then I can't get up no more. And then you have forgot that one boom where you can get up. A breakaboon. I know that's not the real name, but we call it that. It's like a breakaboon. You get up and repeatedly, which you pretty much have to, it can be RNG at times. You know how it can be. I just don't understand, like, why not just put me on hook? Like, why not? Like, why are you being annoying? Like, why are you being a nerd, a weirdo? Why am I on the ground? Put me on the hook. Like, just put me on hook, dude. Just like you're wasting my time. I gotta go to work. I be having to go to work, dude, and try not to DC because I don't want to have to be, but it's just what that is. It's like literally, like you win the game at 3K, dude. Like you don't have to get like stop being like this overachieving killer that you got to get everybody. Just put me on the hook. Chance to RNG for a hatch. If you get it, if they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't. I mean, it is what it is. So if you want to say I'm biased on that, yes, I don't care. I'll tell you that. Like, that's very annoying because it just keeps me in the game. If I'm on hook and I want to go next, I'll go next. It's not DCing, but I'll go next. Leaving me on the ground, I have to like just sit there. Somebody was like, I forgot, this was a streamer that said, oh, well, at least you're on the ground. At least you're still in the game. Who cares about being on the ground, dude? What can I do on the ground? Just crawl? Can I be in chase on the ground? No, I cannot. Put me on the hook, dude. I just want to tell people look sometimes. I'm just curious. I know it's like, well, why should it matter? Because it does. Now, anyway, here's the thing. I pretty much covered a lot of Survivor stuff that is very ridiculous. Right? It sounds stupid. Like, well, why wouldn't they, and I'm pretty sure there's like other stuff. If I remember, I'll probably bring it up later. Let's talk about Killer though, right? Killer definitely have a rule book. Killer, what is this thing about gen rushing? What is this thing about generation? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm supposed to hurry up and do gens, dude. I'm not gonna see a gen. I'll get to it later. So I get a lot of survivors who do that. Or I'll get to it later. And this is why I slide in DMs after the game if I could. Like, if you're on PlayStation 5 or 4, then I can do it. But I get mad when like you're on PC or another console. Because I can't just, because I feel like it really be the survivors that sell me the most that I can't talk to. But like, what is this obsession about? Like, I can't get gens done fast enough. Interact with the killer. Like, yeah, okay. Chasing me, dude. You have lethal pursuer. What are you talking about? Huh? You have lethal pursuer. You can see us in like 10 seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds into the match. You can see generators. Follow the gens. Use corrupt intervention so you can block gens. So we're either trying to do gens and on that side and realize we can't, or you just force it to the other side. All right, like what are you talking about? We got to get the gens done. We got to hurry up and get away from you. Like that's how gates are opened. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't understand why is that a problem. You filthy generation with just brand new parts and they nerfed it pretty much. Like, they reworked it to where it's like it works differently than what it was before. They finally nerfed it, sure. But you have all these kick perks, all these, like, especially when that's after, I know I keep bringing up 6.1, but y'all got to understand what that has done. Like, literally. Like, it's the reason why this game is the way it is now. And all they've done since then was just make boring killers after that. The only fun killer that was before that is, Nemesis, Wesker, and there's a lot of people who don't even like Wesker, or maybe it's just it's too much Weskers, and just like he brings so much intensity, which I can understand. I mean, anytime I see Wesker, like, I'm on it. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Pause. But I'm saying, like, I don't mind it. I just don't understand the logic of I'm not supposed to do gens. and I'm not interacting with the killer. And then I lost because gens go too fast. No, you're chasing somebody forever. You're getting outplayed. You're getting dropped off in chase. You don't know what you're doing. Pass the joystick. Because the smart killer would know not to chase a good survivor forever. Now, what if they're all good and you have to just get good? Just get good. No, that's like a derogatory way of saying, it's like GG, either get good, get wrecked, whatever. But like, you have to know how to play killer and survivor. If you play survivor, you can understand how to counter a lot of stuff that as killer you'll be able to counter, because you'll be like, okay, well, I know what's a good chase. I know not to chase this area because it's very safe and I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna get anywhere. That makes sense. But if you just play killer and then you think you finna just chase one, like yesterday, right? And it was very funny. I did a short, right? I did a short, and this pig was chasing me. We were in McMillan. And I had my Nia. Whenever I have my Nia, it's demon time. I try not to play with her as much because I still feel like people see my icon and it's just getting tonal straight out just because I'm prestige 100 and sometimes it can get annoying. But the pig was chasing me and decided to chase me. I think we were at like one gen left though, so I will say gens were flying. But the pig probably brand new, or probably just didn't know what they were doing. But she tried to do the little. I ain't gonna say she don't know what she was doing, because she tried to, like, instead of just chasing me, she tried to mind game me by using her power, that little dash that she does. But that was immediately stopped with a pallet. Like, see, I booped the Snoop too, but I just booted with I booped the Snoop with a pallet, if that makes sense. Like, see, I could be cute with it too, but I just use a pallet, and I give like a little nod, right? That's just what I do though. I don't know about you. But the point is, what I'm saying is that, like, it's like she was chasing me forever, but she finally caught me due to good old bloodlust. You got to catch up, right? Because you can't just like not go for you have to respect everything, and you have to move out the way. And then, mind you, you're chasing somebody with like a bajillion hours into this game, and then you finally catch me because Bloodlust said, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, you're about to get fired as killer. You're not being a killer because you're not catching the survivor. So let's go ahead and make it where you finally catch up." She caught me, and then this dude, I'm forgetting people's names. I'm forgetting people's names already. You know that one? I'm not even finna act like I forgot. Hold on. Give me 1 second, dude, because I know the name. I just hate when Jeff. His name is Jeff. Okay. So when the pig caught me, Jeff did a flashbang, and then I got saved, and then immediately the DC. And then people who will be, mad at survivors, like, you guys don't have to try so hard. See, and that's another thing too. Killers, why do y'all get to try hard but we can't? Why do y'all get to slug camp Patono, but we can't? Like, go hard. Pause. Like, why? Like, that makes no sense. See, I'm perfectly fine with the sweat. You can play any killer you want. Just give me teammates that actually know what they're doing. Do not give me teammates. It's the same thing with Night. Like, when he said the game is killer-sided. I mean, it's survivor-sided if survivors know what they're doing. But that's a huge if. That is a huge if, dude. Like, that's like, there's so many ifs in the world. So many scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the game wouldn't be in a bad situation if the dev didn't decide to nerf survivor and buff. Because there's a lot of ifs in the world. It's like a huge if. Give me sweat all you want. Give me killers with 11k hours. Just give me survivors who know what they're doing. And I feel like at a certain amount of hours, I don't care how many hours you have as killer survivor. If you get a certain amount of hours, we all should be knowing what we're doing at a certain point. Like, if I have 6,000 hours, I don't think it's going to take, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to take me to get to 10,000 hours to be like, I mean, but listen, I'm always learning different things, but it's very rare that I'm gonna learn too many more things. Like, a lot of it's just, okay, like, I feel like I'm at the pinnacle of what I can be at Survivor. There's nothing I have not. There's not a tech I haven't done. There's not a flashlight, flashbang. I've done everything. Like, I'm sorry, I've done literally everything. I've been playing this game for a long time, right? So, I mean, it's been 3 years now. So I ain't gonna say it's been like 7 years, but I've been playing this game for a while. So it's not so many things I've learned since then. But I will tell you that, yeah, at the end of the day, you got killers who, would chase one survivor all game. And this is when they buffed up added extra 10 seconds. So it used to be 80 seconds for those who are new to the game. But now the gens take 90 seconds on average. And, that's a huge difference, though. That's the extra, you already got survivors who do this thing where they hear or see killer come in and they just cannot and will not commit to finishing the gen. They just will not. They would get off the gen. The killer have dead man switch. It's activated. It's like, or the killer would just catch us, and it's like, okay, maybe I had adrenaline. Like, you don't know, and you just get off the net because you were scared. And it be the survivors with no hooks doing that. That's what's crazy. It's like, dude, like, stop being scary. Go play somewhere else. Stop being scary, dude. Like, that's annoying. A little bit, though. Right? Like, literally, that's very annoying. But that's what I'm saying, is that they added that to combat the gens going by too fast. No, killers just have to stop chasing one survivor all game. There's not going to be too many games. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't go against teammates who are good or teams who are like Swifts who are good, but a lot of survivors still don't know what they're doing in chase. And I know Windows is very good for a lot of new survivors or any survivor. I mean, don't get me wrong, I use Windows not as often as I used to, but I still use it at times because it's, in this notion that, well, if you use Windows, you don't know how to loop. No, I'm just getting tired of not knowing if a pallet's up or not. I'm not always first in chase. I'm not always in a map where, there are good, strong structures and stuff like that. There's times where you're in a random map and you run into Shaq and you're thinking Shaq's pallet's there, but it's not. But mind you, Windows would have showed you that it wasn't because you just saw the window. You wouldn't seen the pallet. But because you didn't have Windows, you don't know. So you run in there and now you just go down. The goal is to waste the killer's time. And I've learned that long ago from my guy Phantom, right? And he taught me that. It's to waste the killer's time. Even if you're not all that fancy with it, even if you're not all that whatever, that's fine. But waste the killer's time. But also be careful with what you're doing. Even if your goal is to do that, obviously that's the goal. Because you're not going to go too far. You got to keep in mind that, the gens still have to pop for us to escape and do stuff. So, you're not, even if you're running the killer forever, you're not leaving the map. And again, this is not old DBD anymore. Well, you can just all escape through hatch. You still have to know what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you still have to hope that teammates are on gens. And at least in Swifts, you'll know, oh, gens 99, okay, I'm headed to the door, okay, I'm gonna leave. You don't get that luxury in solo queue. My God, you do not. You don't be like, we don't get that luxury in solo queue. We literally just hope that somebody's about to pop the last gen. Even with the UI, I love when people lie. People love lying. Like, I don't say just do gens. I say stay on gens. Like, there's no reason for you to like get up and do anything else. It's like when I used to work with this girl when I was at Panera, like literally she always just like was just never in her area. And mind you, I was like a lead, but I wasn't like a supervisor or anything like that. So me, it's only so much I can say about somebody looking at me like, bro, you ain't the supervisor, you ain't, one of them combos, right? But with her, it was just like she would complain and get mad how I would come at, like, I wouldn't come at her like aggressively, but it would just be like, you get mad that I'm saying to be in your area, but like we have customers we gotta serve, we gotta do all of these things, but you're saying you're in your area, but you're not. And then the enablement from the supervisors, it was just crazy. It's the same thing here in DBD. You like I said last time, you will literally see a survivor not on a gen, and they swear they were on a gen. Stay on a generator, buddy. Oh, it's other stuff to do in DBD. Like I'm not even gonna get into that. It's other stuff just let me justify why I'm trash at the game and I don't want to do gens and I want to waste everybody's time. Let me just do that. And the killer gets to just feel victorious, and this is why killers have this confusion that they're good at the game until they actually go against teams, they actually know what they're doing, and then as they want to complain and say the game is survivor-sided because you're so used to going against bots and newer players who don't care, and then you go against a team who know what they're doing. It's why you can see a very good killer, they'll run it up in pub matches with their win streaks, and then they get destroyed. Not saying all of them, but they know they know it ain't sweet in private matches. They know it's not, and it's not even like because it's just levels. Like, it's people who actually knows what they're doing. Just like Killer, you can, I'm gonna do all the, techs and all the moonwalks and in a flashlight. I'm gonna try to steal 360. You're not 360 and a good killer, dude. I had to learn that the hard way. You're not 360. You just look stupid. You done 360 and 720s. Who cares? The killer's just looking at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's that good old waited out forehead mentality where it's like, hey, I'm just going to spin around. Okay, like, who cares? Like, what are you doing? I'm telling you, it's just, listen, I don't make the rules. It's just what it is. And I tell people this all the time. Like, at the end of the day, like, still, just... You have to play both sides. You have to understand both sides. You have to get it, and just play the game and just learn. There's tons of stuff that you can do and watch from the communities in DBD. Even my clips and videos, I still have stuff that teaches you how to chain your loops, how to get the most out of your loops and stuff like that. And certain killers, you have to just anti-loop. You have to just hold forward. It just is what it is because they make the game so boring now. Where it's just no shortage of boring killers now these days, right? I'm almost done. I got like 9 minutes left. I'm trying to think. There's many other things that killers like to do. They complain about Made for This, even though they nerfed Dead Hard to the ground. And anything that survivors slowly get, that's what killers want to complain about. Made for This is so good now. I understand it's like 3 seconds. No, it's like it gives you like 3, like you move 3% faster. I think if you have it on the third team when you're injured, and but you gotta understand, like, bad survivors or newer survivors aren't gonna really probably get the most use out of it because they're still gonna make mistakes as far as like going for like a window without looking behind them, not realizing that the killer is on the other side, just waiting to just meet them, but also just feel like at the same time, survivors who know what they're doing and they know how to, greed, or they know how to hug their loops more tightly. They sort of get more distance. And if you have resilience, you know what I mean? And if you have, imagine having hope, resilience, and Made for This. I mean, you're running 10% faster with that. It stacks like that, So I understand that I feel like, killers who are good and they go against survivors who know what they're doing, yeah, they're going to compare that versus like the average player who don't know what they're doing in the first place. You still have to know how to loop. A perk alone will not carry you. I'm trying to tell you this now. It just will not. You still have to know what you're doing. Even as killer, you still have to know what you're doing. Right? What else? They complain and the thing about it is they complain so many things about like DS that got nerfed. Off the record got nerfed. All them hits you used to be able to take with Medal of Man and stacking, that stuff got nerfed. Hell, that don't even I just off the record just got like it don't even work in game anymore. Like it's the same thing with DS. Like both of them don't even work in game. What else? Swift, just the idea of Swifts. I understand that the game wasn't even intended for people to even play with friends, but like people would have been stopped playing this game with frustration, knowing like that there's a different way of playing with people. Like if all you could was just play solo queue, like how it was intentionally then the game would have been done. So at least people are playing with friends and they're having a good time, and it doesn't mean that they're still destroying killer, but again, you still have to understand what you're doing. Golly. What else? Flashlights. Obviously, they're gonna complain about flashlights. Even though they can bring Franklins, I don't understand why people get upset with that. Like, as killer, you can bring that. As I said earlier, you can bring it. You can bring Franklins. They help you out. You can counter that. Teabagging. Which is a big one. They'll get mad at teabagging. Like, who cares, dude? It is what it is. Y'all give me nopers. Y'all say no. What's wrong with people teabagging? And if you play like a D-head, like if I had a killer who played like a D-head and I get to the edge of the gate, you're going to get a teabag. You're going to get a teabag with lemon. You're going to get a teabag when it's like, I don't know, It's gonna be hot. I gotta warm it up to be really hot. But like, yeah, I mean that sounded. We gonna move on. That sounded kind of. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little tired. Kind of winding down a bit. But yeah, we all have rule books. That's just simply what it is. Killers don't like Swift. If they lose, it must be a Swift. It can't just ever be that they just got outplayed. It must be Comms and Swift. Even though I would argue that playing alone just gives you so much more advantage because it's only you that you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about anyone else. Right? It's just simply what that is. I always compare it to my job. I'm a dishwasher. I only, worry about myself. Everybody can call in. I still got my own work to do, and it's nice. I get it done. I got to worry about people not doing this, not doing that, slowing me down, not showing up, and then we got to still do all of those things. I'm trying to think. There's other stuff too. So we covered gen rushing. We covered flashlights, which like I said, bring Lightborn or Franklin's. Unless the last minute switch, which I can understand that's been very difficult. People bring. Oh, okay, another one. Killer, like survivors bring map, but killers do too. There are people who will bring Scratchmere Myers and stuff like that, and for Leary's, for Midwich, like they bring it. So killer can do the same thing, so can survivor. So I don't understand why you get upset if we bring Dead Dog. Why you get upset if we bring The Game. Why you get upset if we bring Garden of Joy. Why do you get upset? I mean, you can if you want, but why is it as if you don't do it yourself? Like you do the same thing. You bring that too. For your benefit, for your enjoyment, it is what it is. You bring those. And just also too, when killers get upset that you have to chase them for a while. Like, I'm supposed to allow you to catch me. I'm supposed to allow you to catch me and hook me, and yeah, it's supposed to be. The problem I have with killers in this community is that the hypocrisy. It's like, so you want it to be easy for you. You want games to be easier. And this is why I didn't understand why the devs did what they did. Y'all want things to be very easy for people. Like, why? This is why I stopped playing 2K, because they made it where shooting and dunking and layups was very easy. All you have to do is just run and be on it. And people who play the game knows, text knows certain things that have advantage. It's the same thing with DBD. Like, they know certain things that give them advantages, and that's why they use them. That's why they're meta builds. There's meta stuff. Killers want games to be too easy. And instead of you just getting good at the game and learning, no, let's just put a Band-Aid over it and just... But eventually the Band-Aid falls off. It's just simply what it is. It's just simply what it is, man. It's a lot of stuff that I just feel like on both sides, before I close, have ridiculous things. Survivors expect you to farm with them. Killers expect you to not use perks that help. Well, are you mad that I'm using my power? Are you mad I'm using Made for this to try to escape and survive? Yeah. Like, why do you get upset with that? Yeah. Is it frustrating on both sides? Yes. But you have to understand that we're both enemies. We're not friends. We're enemies. I'm a survivor main, and I'm survivor. I'm playing with survivors. You're a killer man. You play alone. You have your powers. You have bloodlust. You have all these reworked maps. So that's what I just wanted to come out with and just say today. I'm going to try to upload it before I go to work. Just a little tired. We'll see about, I'll probably hit the gym a little bit later before I go to work and stuff. But, yeah. And I'm sure I probably missed some stuff that was, like, very ridiculous and stuff. But it is what it is. So, but, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I want to release it before work. Sometimes I'm not going to have, like, a schedule that's really, like keen on certain days, but like sometimes when I just want to talk about something, I just want to talk about it. That's why I'm glad I got this. I used to watch a show called Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, and like he worked at a store that sold like a lot of hunting gear and stuff and equipment, but the thing that really brought people coming back was just the podcast that he would do. And he just spoke his mind. And that's what I want to do, at least with this channel, for the most part, especially when I have nothing else to do and talk about. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please follow the social links below, the Twitter, So you can see updates as well as on here as well too. Follow the channel, almost at 2,000 subs. Been struggling to get to that, man. Holy man, it's been very rough, but we'll get there. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed this again, and hope you guys have a safe day out here. Happy Tuesday, and if nothing else, stay safe out here, and peace.